Hello good people of the internet, you're probably watching this video on your smartphone, your notebook or a desktop computer all connected to your home Wi-Fi network. We all know where the signal is best and places where it just doesn't want to penetrate, maybe due to thickness and material of the walls, distance from the router and many other variables. And the best Wi-Fi network is a simple one, no dropouts, a powerful connection throughout your home and simple hardware upgrades to expand your network to cover those dead zones. And so today we're talking about ASUS AiMesh, which is a new feature that lets you combine multiple of ASUS routers together. They don't have to be identical, by the way, and create your own mega Wi-Fi network so you can have Wi-Fi literally anywhere, even in a nearby park, as long as there's a power source for your router. The new MasterCase MK750 keyboard comes with a comfortable magnetic wrist rest, beautiful RGB light bar on the perimeter and per key lighting control with a variety of Cherry MX switches and a bottom Type-C connection. Cooler Master doing it right. Check it out below. Now, my home isn't large enough to showcase the true potential of AiMesh. This is more targeted for multi-store homes, for really large square footages like 2,000 square feet or about 200 square meters, for outdoor areas too. So in this video, I'll show you how easy and simple it is to set up and also showcase my little experiment to get Wi-Fi in a nearby park. Now, before the arrival of the ROG Rapture router, I had no signal in the kitchen, even though it's less than 10 meters away from the source in my living room from the TP-Link router, which I thought was powerful, and I thought that the signal just cannot penetrate through the concrete walls. But after upgrading to the GT AC 5300, it expanded my coverage to the kitchen and beyond, where I now get 85% signal strength in a spot where it was previously completely absent. And so this beast of a hashtag drone-like spider router is what we'll use as the AiMesh router, or the source for other routers to communicate with. And this is where we use the older but supported routers as AiMesh nodes to create that mega network. And you can see a full list of supported routers online on the AiMesh product page. Now, the setup is super simple. First step is to upgrade the firmware and all the routers to support the new AiMesh network. It actually prompts to do this right away at the start when they're plugged in to avoid incompatibility later. The second step is to have all your AiMesh nodes close to the main router for that initial search. They just need to be powered on, so no LAN connection necessary, no internet connection necessary. They'll just be found through their own unique SSID. And after that, they are registered as your AiMesh nodes, and you can unplug them and move them into the dead zones. Now, if the nodes are not found during the search, you can manually assign the router to operate as AiMesh node, after which it'll show up. Or the easier way is to just simply factory reset via the button in the back, and will be automatically detected as the node when the search continues. And once configured, you can rename the nodes. You can see how many nodes you have in total and how many devices are connected to each node as well. But despite having 3 routers, I just see it as one network broadcasting in 2.4 and 5 gigahertz connections. And this means wherever I am in the space, I'm constantly connected to the most powerful signal possible. So if I'm switching between the kitchen and my bedroom, that seamless switch happens. I don't even realize it because I'm on this one network and there is absolutely no interruption when that switch happens. And this is where my experiment comes in. All right, 2 nodes on the AiMesh network right now is being recognized. Both routers. The kitchen one's getting full signal, which is awesome, and the car one is downstairs, which is about 60 meters away, and we're almost getting full signal, not even 2 bars, full 3 bars, awesome. All right, people, the car router is here, and check this out. So we are powering it via 12-volt inverter, and no additional Ethernet cable required. It just requires some power, and it's communicating with the other AiMesh nodes to get us to full power internet. Let's check out the speeds. All right, so opening up one of our videos inside a car about 67 meters away from my apartment. We're using the ASUS router over here. I've just connected to a 5G network through the source that's in my living room, and we're right now gonna watch some 4K videos. No problem. Okay, well, how about the part that hasn't buffered yet? Obviously, would not be a network video without showing some Fortnite. I'm kidding. But the reason why we're showing this is because, so we are actually in the multiplayer game right now, and what is our ping, man? It's like over 40?
It's something like 50.
50. When you play normally, what do you get?
Around 40 to 16. Okay, 14 to 16.
So the the margin of that difference probably not as significant as before. And I mean, you're playing Fortnite multiplayer inside a car about from this guy. This guy is doing a very good job communicating to the other router that is upstairs. And do you feel any latency, like when pressing spacebar or anything like that?
For now, not. I'm not feeling anything wrong with the game. It's running quite okay.
And so after a little bit of Fortnite, we have 0% packet loss, which is actually pretty cool to think about. So the AiMesh network signal was perfect, having the main router in the living room, one node in the kitchen, and the second node in the car to create a unifying network without interruptions. And with this car experiment, I decided to place the kitchen node onto the balcony because it would just completely fill the outdoor area with Wi-Fi. And so, for example, it would be a perfect opportunity to fill your front yard or backyard, as long as the router is protected, to get you reliable Wi-Fi where there was none before. Okay, so here's the second test using GeForce Now. So this is like the ultimate network test. We are streaming from a server in Frankfurt, so pretty far away. And I'm getting full 1920 by 1200 resolution at 60 FPS on my MacBook Pro playing CSGO. And by the way, GeForce Now is a cloud gaming service from NVIDIA, so everything is running on the cloud, so you're just receiving the video feed. So the most important variable here is your network, and since the closest service to Bulgaria is Frankfurt, the main drawback is latency. Okay, so this next test is pretty crazy. I have calculated to move about 50 meters away from my last node, which is on the kitchen, on the balcony right now, so it is exposed to the park area. And I am in GeForce Now on a Frankfurt server playing CSGO casual, still receiving full signal at 60 FPS, 1920 by 1200 resolution. I'm experiencing a little bit of latency with the, with mouse movement and stuff, but absolutely no frame drops, and the network is solid and stable using this additional Wi-Fi adapter from ASUS. Now, of course, you would not be playing GeForce Now like some competitive games through all these layers of networking, but just to showcase how it is working and everything is just going fine. Of course, there is latency because I'm so far away from the servers, but the networking side of things is working flawless, and that's pretty exciting. Okay guys, so this is crazy. I've just moved 100 meters away from the node, playing 4K video on YouTube, as you can see right now. And yeah, full 4K resolution, no buffering whatsoever, maybe like 1 or 2 seconds of buffering, and we're back into the video. That is incredible. Of course, I'm using the Wi-Fi adapter here, so my signal strength is much better versus built-in Wi-Fi on the MacBook here, but the signal strength and the distance is kind of crazy. Thank you, AiMesh. And the best thing about this whole system is the expansion element, in my opinion, because if you already have an ASUS router that has AiMesh support, adding another one as a node is a possibility to expand your range. And I love how everything is just broadcasted as this, one network. You don't have to connect to those individual SSIDs because everything is just in this one bubble of network, and you just pick 2.4 or 5 gigahertz and you're fine. And I'm pretty impressed with the additional range I got having one node on the balcony. Sure, it's in this open space, nothing interacting it. It's not inside the building. I was within the line of sight of the router and also using the additional USB Wi-Fi adapter. But it's pretty awesome how you can cover such large, vast distances outdoors while also having the ability to, fill in the internal structure with 2 or 3 routers to have like no dead zones anywhere. Is pretty fantastic and shows the true versatility of this AiMesh system. All right, guys, so that is my experience with ASUS AiMesh. I love the simplicity of this entire system. Even if you unplug and power down one of the nodes, it'll still remember it as a node when it's back up and running because it's already registered on the main AiMesh router. But I'd love to hear what type of network you're running in your own home, and if you're experiencing any dead zones, and might you potentially go the AiMesh route, let me know in the comments below. I'm Dmitry, thanks so much for watching. Check out this other relevant content. I will see you in the next video.